welcome back to SlydeBytes. If you're not familiar with this channel, it's a budget guitar and gear review channel, and yeah, well, most of the time budget. Every now and then I break my budget rule. Anyway, today I'm going to really stick to the budget and review this beautiful Jackson JS22 DKA in metallic blue. This is a gorgeous blue guitar. I want to make sure you can see it. I mean, there's some metallic flake in there and everything. I want to make sure you can see that. Just a beautiful guitar. This thing retails at $199, and if you're familiar with this channel at all, you know this is. I buy all my own gear. This is all my own gear, gifts from family, friends, stuff like that. But no companies or major anyone is providing the equipment or anything like that. So this is pretty cool that you can get a Jackson for $199. You know, this is the fourth Jackson in this household, and that's really cool. I got this through Sweetwater. Which is pretty much who I do all my business through these days, because they ship to me super fast, because I am also a fellow Midwestian, and it gets here, Midwesterner, not sure which one that is. Anyway, and it gets to me very quickly. So yeah, I bought this because it's been 2 years since I started SlydeBytes, and we started on a Jackson. The JS22 King B was my very first YouTube video, and we were running through this rig, which is my Acoustic Lead Series G120 DSP. Awesome amplifier, and right now we're running, this whole thing is probably no more with all the pedals. We're running the Behringer 2-amp modeler, the Kmise noise gate, the New X Horseman as a boost into the Ultra Metal by Behringer, and the analog delay by Lotkey. This whole rig probably costs less than $600 together. I figure, you know what, this is a $200 guitar. Let's run it through run it through the original amp I had with this channel, both for nostalgia's sake, and because I think a lot of people who are probably buying this are probably not running this through a super expensive tube amplifier or anything like that. And if you are, I've already run it through my Black Star tube amplifier, and it sounds really good. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into some of the basic specs. You do have a 2-point tremolo on this thing, fulcrum tremolo. I don't like that. This thing will go out to pretty quickly once you start messing with the trim arm. I'm not sure exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn all of our boosts off for a second, turn the volume back up, and let's just see if we're in tune. No. Not terrible though. So yeah, not terrible, not great. But yeah, when I got it, it was actually completely decked. I don't know who set this up at the factory, but whoever was a player. I can just tell, because this thing was already dropped for shipping. It was already dropped down and tuning, but it was already in drop C, and this thing just seems to want to sit naturally in that. And this was completely decked. The trim had been, I actually had to remove a spring from the back because it was so tightly put down into the guitar that there's no way to even, no matter how much I tried to loosen those things, it was not going to come back up. So I actually had to take a trim spring out so I could get this to be able to pivot back and forth, so I could bend up and down on the trim arm. So yeah, that's a thing. I probably will go ahead and deck this. I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually fully intend on modding this. I got some ideas and it'd be probably a pretty cheap mod project, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool when we're done. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but it is a plan to mod this. That was always my plan with it. Anyway, so this trim it was okay. There's nothing wrong with the hardware or anything. It's pretty thick metal and everything. It's not an issue. It's just, you know, these lower price guitars should probably just be a fixed bridge. I think Squire's kind of learned that on a lot of their lower price point guitars, and I think that's something that Jackson should do. Honestly, this would even have a ton more appeal to me as a hardtail anyway, because I prefer hardtail guitars. Anyway, 2 humbucking pickups. These are ceramic Jackson, very hot pickups. They really and truly are hot pickups. I wouldn't say they're as tight sounding as maybe more expensive pickups necessarily, but they're very bright, have a lot of tack. They pick up a lot, but they're also a little bit open. Not quite as open as what came on my Jackson JS32. They're a lot more open and bassy, but these do have a little bit. They're just not as tight as some other more expensive pickups, I would say. But for the price range this guitar is in, these are actually really good. Honestly, I don't think there's an issue with these out of the box. I actually quite like the sound. I don't even know if I'm going to swap them. I'm really torn because these do have a really nice bright sound to them, and I actually prefer a bit of brightness in my tone. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with these. And if you actually look, I don't know if I can show you this. Again, this is what makes me think whoever set this up at the factory was a player. Not the intonation of this thing was great. The action was great, but if you look at those neck pickup pole pieces. They've been raised. I've never seen a factory setup with the raised poles, with the pole pieces adjusted like that before. Whoever set this up has got the humbucker down lowered into the body, which is how I would probably do it, and they've raised the pole pieces to make up for that. And the bridge has also had their pole pieces raised a little bit, but not a ton. And honestly, it's really cool. It's pretty neat how they've done it. Push-in bar, so that's really cool. I've got the bolt tightened down in there, so this doesn't come out right now. But this is just a push-in, pull-out bar. Really nice. One volume, one tone, three-way toggle. You do have a poplar body on this thing. Maple neck, amaranth fretboard or purple heart. It was really dry from the factory. I did put some fast fret and some oiled this up a little bit too, and it just seems to still be kind of dry, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that, make sure I can get that corrected. There is a couple blemishes in the fretboard. You can kind of see them there, those white splotches. Not really sure what that is, but it's not a huge deal. 24 frets, compound radius, so you're going from 12 to 16 as you go up the neck. Very fast, very smooth neck, good for playing on. There's only a couple real finish issues on this guitar. I'll put a picture up. First, I want to say these strings are terrible. these are not great strings. Every Jackson I bought has not had great strings. I do recommend changing those, but I've just left them on for this for now. But I'll put a picture on here because my fingers were completely dirt black from playing this thing. I don't know if it was just dye off the fretboard or something, or if there was really that much grime on it. But yeah, it was disgustingly dirty. It's been played a lot now, so it's getting cleaned up. There's some discoloration in this area, which I'll post a picture of it. Not a huge deal, again, not gonna bother me. If you look in the neck pocket here, you can actually see it's not perfectly aligned on there. So you can kind of see some bare wood in that. Not big. Again, this is a $200 guitar. It's not bothering me. There's some weird stuff up here on the neck. You can kind of see it. Looks like it may have gotten an odd cut or something. It's pretty smooth though, so I don't know. And there's a thumbnail mark in the binding right here. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. So yeah. Just little tiny things. None of that's going to matter. Would I send the guitar back at this price point for that? No. Maybe a more expensive guitar if I've been There was some fret sprout. I cleaned that up using a sanding block, so that was really easy to do and took less than 2 minutes to just take the sanding block back and forth. Now I have this wonderful rolled edge. Graphite reinforced neck too, by the way. I love that. That's one of my favorite features of Jackson and Charvel guitars. Because that really does help keep things stable. Tuners are inline, traditional headstock, for them anyway. Traditional angle, not reversed. Tuners are not great. There's a lot of play in these, but I do plan on changing these, so it is what it is. But they are just Jackson regular tuners, plastic nut, nothing with that, anything special. Jumbo frets, nickel. But again, with jumbo, I'm not going to have any issue with longevity. I feel like they're going to be just fine. They're a little oily and dirty, but now that it's been played in, they're doing pretty good. Binding on the neck I still love that. It's a classy look. Overall, it's just a beautiful guitar. Some small cosmetic issues, but nothing to be concerned with. The route on the back here, once you lift this off, it's just a lot of bare wood. Again, I'll put a picture up of it. Not sure why they did that, but I mean, I'm probably just gonna sand that down and maybe paint that over a little bit on myself around here. The inside is blue and well done, but where this sits is just bare wood and very splintery. So yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do some tones. Let's go ahead, turn my analog delay off for a second. Give you a little bit more rhythm volume. And let's just go ahead, we'll just go through the pickup positions real quick. bridge, by the way. Go middle. Probably need to tune this up real quick. We'll have a little break for that. All right, now we're tuned back up. So yeah, I want to play with the trim arm, that's why I remove them most of the time. But yeah, it's not very stable. So let's go to the middle position and try that now. Very boomy. All right, let's go to the neck. It really sounds good. Like they have a nice twang to them, especially in position 2. Really like that. Very nice and twangy. It's something that I've noticed with a lot of Fender branded products, whether it be Charvel, Jackson, or Fender, Squier. They keep a twang to them, and I really do enjoy that. Let's go ahead and roll the tone knob off on this neck pickup and play something jazzy for a second. Position 2. Position 1. All right, so since we're back in position 1, let's go ahead and go all the way back up to the bridge. Let's go through with we got the Behringer 2-amp modeler, the Kmise noise gate, the Horseman overdrive from NuX, and the Ultra Metal. Here we go. Turn off. Go back up. Middle position. Turn off. Go back up. Neck position. Turn off. Go back to the tone up. Then let's go ahead and give it a little bit of delay. Let's go back to the bridge. The tone was all the way up. That's pretty cool. This thing sounds really, really awesome. I have to say, I'm really happy with it. Every pickup position sounds phenomenal with this thing. And I think it's all usable, which is really cool. Because sometimes pickup positions can be kind of meh on different guitars, but this thing sounds great. Every single pickup position. Honestly, other than a few cosmetic things here and there, you have to actually be sitting here staring, looking for them, which I do because that's part of reviewing guitars. Yeah, you would never know. This thing is really fun to play. It feels really good in the hand, and in general, I'm really going to just give it my seal of approval, my recommendation. I think if you're looking for a budget shredding axe with good pickups and good bones from the start, this is a great one. I think I can mod this thing to be something that they don't offer from Jackson for about $100, and I'm going to try that. Again, this is a bolt-on neck. I do love this contour that they use. This whole contour here is so slick. I think that's one of the coolest things. How that works, and this is a thin, here we go. This is kind of a thin block. You do have a block, but you still have so much room that you can move because of that, so it works out pretty well. Usually I'm not bothered by that anyway, but just so you know, that is contoured a bit for speed playing. And this is a dinky, so these dinky bodies are about 7/8 the size of a regular Stratocaster. So very comfy, very nice to play. This arch top is very comfortable under the arm. I love the dinky arch tops. They just look good and they feel really good to play. So anyway, yeah, I'm giving this, if I had to give it a rating, for guitars, I kind of like to give them out of 10. I think a lot of things I can do a 5-star rating, but I like for guitars, I'm starting to find more of a 10-star rating works better. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. There are a lot of little cosmetic things. The tuners are not great. The trim arm is not great. But other than the cosmetic issues, strings are something that I'm going to change anyway. I'm going to do a full setup. This trim arm is going to be blocked, and there will be no trim arm. I'm going to set that up. Tuners are just not great. They would fight a new guitar player, and the trim is not great either. So the combination of those two things kind of keeps tuning not great. But now I will say, when the thing was decked and when you're not using the trim or using it a whole lot, this does stay in tune pretty well. But for anyone who's learning or anything, that could be kind of an issue, and they don't work well together with the tuners, the plastic nut, and this. Not the best for stable tuning if you're going to play with the whammy bar. But if you're not going to, it does okay. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, there's just some kind of cosmetic blemishes and things like that, but nothing that would be worth me sending it back. And I'm going to say, I think this is still one of the best playing. I'm going to say, for playing wise, just how it feels to play and how it sounds, it's up there with my Schecter, I feel like, which was probably a $400 guitar or something like that. It was more expensive than this, but it plays just as well. It sounds as good, but in a different way. I'll put it that way. It's got a twang to it that I really, really enjoy. So yeah, I'm gonna give this the SlydeBytes seal of approval here. Binding was really clean and good on it. It was actually impressive how good this binding was for a $200 guitar than that, fingernail nick in it. So yeah, overall, this is just a great guitar. I'm always gonna be a lifelong Jackson fan. I've got my other Jackson 7-string dinky right here, and the King B over there. My wife's got a Jackson bass. So anyway, so yep, heavily recommended. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Guys, if you like the channel, if you like what I'm doing, and you feel like I've earned it, you might consider liking and subscribing, because it does help this little guitar channel grow. I do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here with me for the last 2 years and helping this channel grow. And for all my returning viewers, you guys mean the world to me that you guys have chosen to keep coming back and watching the channel. And for all the new viewers, welcome to the community. I hope you choose to stick around, because this is a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this and talking to y'all. Also, if you like the background music or you like the way I play, I do post and make my own original guitar music, and you can find that over on Instagram and TikTok, respectively, as long as TikTok's still alive. I do post original guitar music on both those platforms that I have written, and also make like model kits and stuff like that, and you'll see my goofy stuff over there. Other than that, guys, I think that's all I've got for you for this week. More content is always in the works. I've got a lot of ideas rolling around my head right now, a lot of stuff I want to try to do. But yeah, keep shredding, partners. Again, thank you. Appreciate all of you. See you soon.